All right, boys. Some major news just dropped on us today. Essentially, I guess this is the state of the game for Destiny 2, and so much is about to be changed. So from the Destiny dev team, this is the Destiny 2021 update, The Road to the Witch Queen. Hey, Guardians. As some of you know, I didn't work on Destiny before it shipped in 2014. Started out as a Guardian. I got hooked on running the Vault of Glass, trying to get my truth drop in a Nightfall. And yes, sometimes trolling my fire team with inopportune Ward of Dawn placements. After playing for just a few short weeks, I knew I wanted to do whatever it took to work on the game. Destiny changed my life. Back then, I knew Bungie had just begun the journey of what Destiny could be and what it could mean to so many Guardians like me. When I walked through the doors of Bungie for the first time, the Dart Below had just shipped and the team already had their eyes up, outlining ambitious plans for the future. It was clear that everyone at Bungie loved Destiny fiercely and believed in its future as much as I did. Flash forward to today. Season of the Chosen has launched, and it's incredible to see how far the game has come. Right now, my Guardian is crushing battlegrounds, perfecting a new build for Master Lost sectors, gilding titles, progressing seasonal challenges, working on catalysts for some of the most unique exotic weapons we've ever added to the game, and experiencing more seasonal narrative progression in Destiny than ever before. It's humbling to think how much of these systems and this content didn't exist 2 years ago, last year, or even last month. Though going to work these days includes video calls, guest pets, and kids, and what continues to humble and motivate me since my first day is how this team still looks at Destiny with fresh eyes every day. We see possibility in Destiny at all levels. On the team and working on this game has really become life-changing for many of us. Destiny, this friendship maker and sometimes temporary friendship breaker, this catalyst to make memories, this universe that we all love. We're lucky to be here and share these moments with you. Destiny has so much to offer to so many different types of players. And even more than that, it means something different to each player. It's complex, intricate, and demanding. And that makes it an awesome challenge to work on. As massive as Destiny is, we believe there is much more potential to unlock in this amazing game. Stories to finish and new stories to come, and that will keep driving us to make it better every week, every season, every year. Okay, that sounds good, but what's the kicker here? The Witch Queen, Lightfall, and beyond. Last summer, we outlined our ambition for the next era in Destiny 2 by announcing the full arc, starting with Beyond Light, followed by the Witch Queen in Lightfall. As we began to scale production on the Witch Queen last year, we made the difficult but important decision to move its release to early 2022. We also realized we needed to add an additional unannounced chapter after Lightfall to fully complete our first saga of Destiny. Wow, first saga. So obviously they got a lot more after that, I'm assuming. We've long thought about moving Destiny's annual release to the early half of the year, primarily for the health of the team. But the Witch Queen and not being tied to legacy expectations allowed us to make this choice early for three important reasons. Number one, the Witch Queen represents an important evolution in the ongoing story of Destiny 2. Beyond Light built the foundation and allowed us to weave the world building of Destiny and Destiny 2 together. But the Witch Queen will light the fire on a strongly interconnected narrative across Lightfall and beyond, unlike anything we've ever attempted before, with characters, arcs, heroes, and villains that persist over multiple future releases. Even more importantly, the conclusion of these releases will also conclude the Light and Darkness saga, the conflict we first introduced with the launch of Destiny many years ago. As we've been developing the Witch Queen, we realized that we needed this release to be the first of many moments crucial to the story of Destiny. With so much leading to and dependent on what happens in the Witch Queen, we wanted to make sure that we gave ourselves enough time to build out this journey in the right way, starting with an exceptional first chapter in the Witch Queen. With Destiny now committed to being an everlasting evolving world, we want to make sure we are still taking the time to upgrade the systematic foundation of Destiny 2 to support everything we want to do in the future. Our ultimate vision for Destiny 2 still stands: a definitive action MMO, a unified global community where you can play Destiny anywhere with your friends. For 2021, this means upgrading our approach to keeping Destiny's weapon and armor game fresh, refining our vision for PvP, implementing transmog, and adding cross-play. More below. Finally, and the most important reason, we are proud to be uncompromising when it comes to our commitment to the health of our teams. With COVID-19 keeping us away from the office and a large amount of work on our plates, we needed to move the date in order to make sure that both this year's updates and the Witch Queen were both delivered at the quality we strive for and on schedule that made sense for everyone involved. Making this choice is not one we took lightly. Believe me, as someone close to the Witch Queen's progress, there's no one more than us that wants to get it out as soon as it's ready. But at the end of the day, we know we're making this call for the Witch Queen and the future chapters in Destiny 2 for all the right reasons. Ones that puts our teams first and our game at the quality bar we strive for ourselves. We'll have more to share on the Witch Queen and beyond in the late summer of this this year. But today, we need to talk about what's happening in 2021. Let's get to it. All right, so Witch Queen is being delayed to early 2022, which is, I'm not gonna lie, kind of a bummer. We've been seeing a progression of this. Like, it seems like the timetable for Bungie is not exactly 12 months. It's turned to like 13, 14 months. So remember, we used to get a September release every year, and then Shadowkeep got backed up to October, and then Beyond Light got backed up to November, and now Witch Queen is getting backed up not even to December, but to January. Honestly, it is a big bummer to me, and I really would like to see Bungie throw that release date up to December. It's such a good time to release a game. I know there's other games out, but Destiny has staying power. It captures a lot of people during the holidays. It's always done well, and actually the November release for Beyond Light did exceptionally well. I think December would actually be a perfect month for Witch Queen to launch due to holidays, and of course most people are on break. Like, think about college kids, think about high school kids, or just people in general normally take off around the holidays. So let me know what you think about that, guys. Obviously the health of the team is extremely important. I completely get that, and you definitely don't want to ship something too early or half-baked. Moving on to rewards that matter. With Season 11, we introduced Infusion Caps, an iteration on Infusion designed to keep Destiny's gear game fresh from release to release and to create a healthy ecosystem for our aspirational content. While we still believe in these goals, it's clear our execution was off the mark. Infusion Caps helped us meaningfully shift the meta in Beyond Light and create reward ecosystems that was manageable to balance and monitor. But the system has also made our rewards feel like they have an expiration date and have frequently made playing our legacy content feel shallow. We want the rewards you've earned in Beyond Light and its subsequent seasons to feel like valuable tools you can use in incredible challenges you'll face in the Witch Queen. So we're making a change. We've made the decision that any weapon or armor that can currently be infused to max power will continue to be able to reach max power permanently starting in Season 14. We won't be capping the infusion on any weapons or armor that have not already reached the cap as of the start of Season 13. This means you'll be able to take your Trustee, your Fallen Guillotine, and all those high stat armors you've earned over this year into the raid in Witch Queen. While we still strongly believe that Destiny needs a method to shift our meta in the game's most challenging activities, we don't believe that infusion caps are the right answer. We're taking time this year to research and validate a plan that creates a fresh and balanceable ecosystem for our most aspirational content, one that doesn't make our rewards feel like they have an expiration date. We've learned a lot this year and don't want to rush finding the best plan, so don't expect to hear anything more about this until the Witch Queen. Because we won't be capping any more of our weapons, we must consider more variables in the game balance of our upcoming seasons and releases. So expect to see tuning when it comes to our biggest outliers in PvP and PvE. Yes, I'm looking at you, Fell Winners and War Mod Cells. This is a big chance for Destiny and one that we did not make lightly. However, we believe there's nothing more important in Destiny than getting our rewards right. My God, that is so important. Fellas, did you hear it? Sunsetting just got sunset. Look, I'm telling you, there was an internal struggle probably happening at Bungie. There were people that said, hey, sunsetting is the way we need to go. And then there was another group of people that was like, yo, sunsetting sounds like a bad idea. Obviously, I was team sunsetting was a bad idea. I've been very vocal about this, but I wanted to give it a fair shake. I mean, really, I wanted to see how sunsetting would work out. Turns out it's quite ass. Like we predicted. This is fantastic news. This means the things you're earning now are gonna mean something forever. That God roll that you spent so much time on will no longer have an expiration date. And more importantly, this right here tells me that Bungie is listening to their player base. And secondly, thank God they did not continue down this rabbit hole. Again, they were talking about sunsetting exotics. That was on the table, and that would have instantly killed this game. But it's fantastic that Bungie is going the opposite route. The main thing is, yes, this is going to put a little more pressure on the sandbox team. They're going to have to see those outliers. They're going to have to nail them down. They're going to have to do a lot more tuning, which means a lot more sandbox patch notes. Let's go. But really, that's the way it should be. Now, they can just give us some more vault space. We're golden, baby. Moving on, power play. Now that we talked about rewards, let's talk about power. Last year, we started a paradigm where we raised the overall power cap by 50 each season. While this helped ensure that infusion caps shifted the meta, it also made each season feel like a significant reset to the power you had accumulated. To combat this, we will be experimenting with a new power level cap. Starting in Season 14, we will only be raising the power cap by 10 for each non-expansion season. This means if you're reaching the maximum power in Season 13, when next season rolls around, you will be directly in the 10-point pinnacle brand of the power pursuit. This power increases should feel familiar to anyone who played Season of Dawn last year, and we're excited to see how this progression feels alongside our new system. We believe this change will make it even easier to pick up and enjoy Destiny each season while still allowing allowing us to have deep RPG power pursuits when we launch the Witch Queen. All right, yes, a lot of people have been complaining about power progression in this game from season to season, these hard resets. A lot of people just want to jump into the content without actually having to do all this random grinding, swapping around armor, deleting stuff, getting stuff deleted in their postmaster, dealing with the somewhat confusing pinnacle grind. Oh no, you got a pinnacle too early. You just screwed yourself. Yeah, I like this. This is good. I definitely think what's going to end up happening though is there's going to be a bigger power jump in the annual expansion, like more significant than what we normally see. Again, more and more is pointing to like Bungie going back to the Forsaken model. We've only been saying it since Forsaken that this was the way to do it. Next up, we have Angels of Death. Like many of you, I'm passionate about PvP in Destiny 2, and it's clear that we haven't had a consistent message around these modes. So I'd like to share our high-level vision for Crucible. Direct player versus player competition is essential in Destiny as an option to express mastery of your Guardian and showcase the strength of your arsenal against other players. It's a simple vision, but it's one that's crucial to make the game feel like a real place for those players that crave that showcase, where rewards you've earned, the skill you demonstrate, and how you've built your Guardian all matter. So let's talk about what we're doing this year for PvP. Starting with our top priorities, improving gameplay sandbox balance in Crucible, and upgrading the experiences of our most aspirational game modes. When it comes to the balance updates, these can be divided into three major buckets. First, in Season 15, we will be addressing 3-picking and trials and competitive. Let's go! In these modes, emotes will be disabled, and players will be unable to pull out any third-person weapons that don't have ammo. Third-person experiences are part of what makes Destiny's gameplay feel so good, but it was clear in our most competitive arenas that these mechanics were being used in ways we did not intend. This is a tricky problem to solve in Destiny's complicated sandbox, but we think this is a good starting point. Yes, it is. Second, over the next several seasons, we will be making changes to Stasis and Light subclasses in order to achieve a healthier balance of subclasses inside of Crucible. Across Season 13 and 14, we will be adjusting Stasis in the Crucible in order to bring its overall effectiveness in line with our Light subclasses. Here are some of the changes you can expect coming to updates this season and next. Oh boy. All right, Stasis nerfs, here we go. Behemoth Titan, decrease super damage reduction. Good. Increase super energy cost when performing light attacks. Good. Remove freeze AoE on super cast. Oh! Reduce traveling efficacy of Shiver Strike when slowed. Okay, so actually the counter to it is to outstasis stasis. Revenant Hunter, decrease withering blade damage and tracking. Good, good, good. Decrease slowed stacks applied to a target. Very good. Remove shatter dodge damage reduction. All right. Shadebinder Warlock, fixed a bug where Ice Flare bolts wouldn't track toward targets immediately on creation. Fixed a bug where Shadebinder super projectiles were not tracking until a certain distance traveled. Okay, so Shadebinder, you're not getting a nerf at all. But yeah, Revenant Hunter, Behemoth Titan, get slapped. General, decrease crystal shatter damage. All right, so across the board, there's going to be a decrease there in crystal shatter damage. So for Season 15, we are also looking at universal adjustments to Stasis by increasing damage reduction when frozen to provide more survivability for the victim. Following this Stasis tuning, in Season 15, we will also focus on light subclasses and release a set of targeted buffs to our most underutilized specializations. The goal of all these changes is to keep Stasis feeling great in PvE and to bring its representation in PvP more in line with our light-based subclasses. AKA, yes, light-based subclasses should get a buff, and probably on the line of like Top Tree Dawn. Think about how good Top Tree Dawn is, but think about where it was in year one of Destiny 2. That type of evolution requires a lot of work and a lot of thought. I could see Bungie doing the same exact thing to our other light-based subclasses. That would bring it in line more with Stasis. Finally, we want to continue to adjust weapon archetype performance and introduce new perks that shift the meta in the Crucible. I think the team has done a great job in this area over the last several months, introducing balance changes both at the seasonal boundaries and at the mid-season. And we want to continue to drive down this path to diversifying the types of loadouts you encounter from season to season. In addition, at Season 15, we will also be looking to adjust overall ability usage rates to make sure guns and gunplay are always key to the success in Crucible. AKA, this is a first-person shooter, not an ability simulator. And we have definitely been getting more into that ability territory. Of course, gameplay balance only matters when the underlying playing field is fair. And unfortunately, cheating continues to be a significant issue, especially on PC. We're always working to maintain security as new exploits emerge. And as always, we don't want to talk about a lot of those improvements for fear of empowering the bad guys. A few areas we can talk about are, we're aiming to nearly double the size of Bungie's game security team, reflecting our long-term commitment to fair play. We've begun regular surveys to better understand your experience with cheating and to measure our progress. This new data enriches our existing streams from player reports. Thank you for reporting and game instrumentation. If you receive receive one of these surveys, please share your experience to help us fight cheating. We've also begun a strategy of aggressive legal action against cheat developers. You may have seen the news articles about some of our early actions here, and we continue to pursue those who undermine fair play using every tool at our disposal, both in partnerships with other studios and under our own flag. We'll share more security news when we can. Beyond gameplay balance and security, we also want to adjust the structures of our most aspirational PvP modes in order to make them a better experience for our players. First up, we're targeting an overhaul of the Trials of Osiris reward structure and matchmaking paradigms to release before the end of this year. With this update, we specifically want to target a few things. Improve the overall health of the Trials matchmaking pool, both by incentivizing a wider audience to engage and better defining separation of skill tiers. We're also going to rebuild the Trials reward structure so that it encourages more players to stick to their active cards longer. Our current structure encourages a lot of recycling cards after a single loss, meaning the first game of your Trials card has a high chance of being incredibly challenging. We want to build a reward structure that continually pushes higher skilled players to want to progress deeper into the card even after a loss, making 3 and 5 wins a more achievable goal for more players. We're also going to investigate opportunities for solo players to participate in Trials regularly. We believe that this will not only make the matchmaking pools healthier, but will also encourage more players to see what Trials is all about and hopefully form social connections with other PvP-loving Guardians. After Trials, we will be targeting a similar in scope refresh to Iron Banner. While there's a lot to do when it comes to supporting the Crucible, we want to target our efforts around global PvP balance and our most aspirational modes first. Alrighty, so nothing really on the front of anti-cheat other than they are doubling their team, which is a good thing. Gonna go from 2 guys to now 4. No, but really, that is a good thing. I'm really happy to see that Bungie is taking cheating seriously, or at least seriously enough. In regards to Trials and their overhaul, we've been talking about it for a while, and I can actually see them shifting from card-based matchmaking to just connection-based matchmaking. And if they actually add a way for solo players to queue up for Trials, that would be incredible. At least for Trial players to just dip a toe. For folks that don't want to go through and get a team together, maybe they're nervous, maybe they just want to see what it's like, maybe they just want to do a bounty. Boom, get in the playlist. Yes, you're probably going to go up against a 3 stack. It's very likely you're going to get smashed, but you might win one, and you might get that taste, and you might get some loot, which is the whole point to dealing with that game mode anyways. So this is a good thing. I like all of this. I like that they're doubling down on PvP. They're taking care of Stasis, all that good stuff. All right, moving on. Praedynt's Revenge. Oh, y'all missed that weapon? I do. In Season 14, the Vault of Glass will return. The team will have a lot more to say about it before launch, but there are a few things I like to clarify now. Our philosophy behind bringing things out of the Destiny content vault is to keep them feeling like the content you remember, while updating them to meet the Destiny 2 difficulty and raid standards. So while the high-level experience remains the same, you should expect the raid team to have a few tricks up their sleeves when you tackle the depths of Venus this summer. Oh my god, we're going back to Venus, baby. Vault of Glass will also launch with both a contest mode in the first 24 hours and a world's first race. Since this is a reprised raid, we're going to do our world's first a bit different. Players looking to claim the belt will not only have to complete the raid, but also a curated list of challenging triumphs. And while only one fire team will walk away with a belt, there will be plenty of opportunities for players to earn the ability to purchase some sweet real-world loot through Bungie rewards. That's interesting. I wonder if they're doing this because they know that people can glitch through many parts of Vault. Dude, we watched it live the other day on stream, where you can just literally glitch through the entire raid and speedrun the entire raid in like 15 minutes. It's kind of nuts. Now, one last thing. Before the end of this year, we are also looking to add a master version of Vault of Glass. We've been really excited about how Master and Grandmaster difficulty have altered Nightfall strikes, increasing the potency of combat and the importance of executing mechanics. We like all of our future raids and dungeons to offer Master difficulty versions, where players can earn Adept raid and dungeon gear. And while we aren't able to commit to a Season 14 timeframe for Master Vault of Glass, we do want to take time to develop a sustainable structure that allows us to ship these closer together in the future releases. This is huge. Adept weapons in raids and dungeons. Dude, there's about to be so many different ways to get Adept loot, Adept mods, all those things. So if you feel like you've missed out on Adept stuff, it's coming coming, baby. Now, getting reacquainted with Adelaide. In Season 14, Ada 1 is returning to the tower, and with her comes the ability for players to take any armor they have in their collections and turn it into a universal ornament. In Destiny 2, we will call this transmog system Armor Synthesis. Every season, Ada will offer players a set of bounties that highlight various activity types. Players can complete these quests and receive the materials they need to power up Ada's loom, which can turn any piece of armor in your collection into a permanent universal ornament. Players short on time will also be able to purchase synthesis tokens for silver. Oh! All right, Bungie, I see what you're doing. Once you've acquired some new universal ornaments, you'll want to head over to the new appearance screen in the character menu, where you can manage the ornaments on all of your gear in one place. You'll also find that you can apply shaders here individually or on all pieces of your equipped gear with one click. To make it even easier to try out a bunch of new looks in Season 14, we've also changed shaders to be permanent unlocks, meaning you no longer will need to hold onto stacks of shaders in your inventory. Thank God. Fellas, I spent like 30 days the other day just deleting shaders. At the beginning of Season 14, we will be including a starting supply of synthesis materials as rewards for completing the seasonal onboarding quests. We know many of you have been looking forward to synthesis for a long time and want to front load your ability to create some of the looks you've been looking forward to showing off. This is actually the appearance screen right here. Look at this. Yeah, dude, there's so many pieces of armor that I would love to have as a universal ornament to mix and match. I know they talked about this last year. Thank God it's finally coming though. Moving on to combined fire. We still got a few quick things to cover, but I wanted to make sure we didn't end without taking the time to recognize how incredible the team is here at Bungie. It's enormously difficult to make a game like this from home, but the team comes at every day with unmatched enthusiasm and talent. One of the reasons is that our team is full of guardians, conquerors, lighthouse frequent flyers, lore masters, and people that just love to get in a strike or two with their family. All the work they do is because they believe that Destiny 2 can be the definitive action MMO on consoles and PC for years to come. So without spoiling our plans for the Witch Queen and beyond, let's talk about a few more things the team is working on this year. Crossplay is coming to the masses in Season 15. We'll be doing some internal rollouts and alpha tests in Season 14 to prepare for a widespread launch this fall. With crossplay, you'll be able to play with all of your friends, no matter what platform you call home. And don't worry, we won't be matching console and PC players together in Crucible unless PC players specifically invite their console friends to play with them in the PC Crucible pools. Well, there you go, fellas. Crossplay has an opt-in feature. I can't tell you how many of you guys that are console players that stated you would quit Destiny 2 if they didn't have an opt-in. Now you do. You can just stay in console land, away from all the shit and the cheaters and the crazy PC players that are probably also cheating. Everybody's cheating over here, man. Everybody's cheating over here. Now you don't have to deal with that unless one of us invites you. You can come hang out with us. Please do. Some of you have noticed that Akora Ray has not been nearly as present recently in Destiny 2. We've missed her as well. Not only will you see Akora again in Season 14, she will be playing a pivotal role in the Witch Queen. Oh yeah, I was wondering about Akora as well. In Beyond Light, we introduced Stasis subclasses. Like Solar, Arc, and Void, Stasis will continue to evolve into a fully supported damage type. In Season 15, we will introduce our first round of legendary Stasis energy and power weapons. What? There will also be a lot more info here as we get closer to the fall. More recently, in Season 13, we rolled out Phase 1 of our new Gilded title system, where players can gild our ritual titles like Conquer, Unbroken, Dredgen, and Flawless each season. In Season 14, Phase 2 of Gilded titles will roll out. When players gild a title, it will now also display how many times that title has been gilded in the past. Looky there. Dude, I gotta get to work, man. I gotta have some flex. I can't overstate how excited I am for what the team has planned for this year and beyond. What we're doing this year is about multiplying our potential for years to come. And while I promise not to spoil any of the things we will reveal for the Witch Queen later this year, I feel like I owe you a little treat for sticking with me after all this text. So here is an early concept and one of the wild armor sets you'll be able to earn in our next annual release. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh, that's sexy. That's got like Izanagi vibes. Look at the markings. Where's Bife? Bife, tell me what this means. Thanks for reading. Joe Jogaroth Blackburn, Assistant Game Director, Destiny 2. I freaking love it. Okay, look, Joe's been like taking the lead on a lot of things here lately. And overall, I like this guy, man. One of the tweets he put out yesterday, which I love to see, he said, all the people I want to surround myself with creatively, I've also had really difficult moments with. As a young death, it's tempting to shy away from these conversations or just burn the relationship with them when things get hard. But it's the bonds you forge in fire that are the strongest. And then he commented below that, and before I sound too righteous, I should have mentioned that this is one of those things that I believe is right, but it's immensely hard to live by, and I fuck up often. The main thing to take away from from that point. That tweet, what that means. That's something I can connect with. That means that at the end of the day, no matter what difficulties, what hardships, what spits and spats that have occurred with Bungie, maybe internally, maybe with other devs, maybe somebody talked about your mama at the water cooler, whatever. At the end of the day, you gotta pull your boots up and you gotta make the damn game. You gotta make the product. I don't care what's going on in your life. Your girlfriend left you, found a new man, your mama done told you she don't love you no more. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, we gotta get it, baby. We got to get it. We're only alive for a short amount of time and we gotta get it all. So despite whatever personal feelings we may be feeling within us, leave it at the door. I like this, man. I connect with this. Am I looking a little too deep? Maybe. But I like that right there. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this. I know this is a long video. We read it word for word and I know someone's gonna complain about it. Cross, why do you read everything word for word? Because it's important. Every word's important. I wanna know what these guys are thinking, what they're feeling. And I can tell you, despite Witch Queen getting backed up, I would still love to see a December release, despite it getting backed up. The vision that Bungie's telling me right now in this, I like it. I really do. I like it. I like the new leadership. I like where Destiny is heading. And I've actually told a few of my sponsors not that long ago. I was actually talking on the phone with them and they were asking me if Destiny 2 was going to be around much longer. And I was like, man, I actually feel like this is going to be a 10-year game. When the split happened from Activision, that was not year 4, year 5 for me in Destiny's life cycle. That started over. We're on Bungie's timeline now. We're on their vision. And I feel like we will be playing Destiny 2 into 2030. Probably still going to have cheaters though. You know, I just saying. But I think 9 years from now in an LFG somewhere on the internet, we'll still be looking for a fire team. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.